line smashes, total hustlers, dog line crushes, and this is Light It Up with your boy Dom Rici here.
Light it up. Show's about to begin.
And there we go. How we doing, everybody? It's Light It Up Monday. That Monday Madness came around again. Week number 5. Like I've been saying every week, they still haven't pulled the plug. So they keep on going. We keep on going, and we're creating a monster here. So sooner or later, they're not going to be able to pull the plug. That's for sure. But anyway, welcome in, everybody. Glad to be here. Glad everybody came in. We have a nice, sleety, snowy, rainy night in New York City. And it is some real bad weather coming in. So typical New York winter time. It is Christmas season, and we have, 7, 8, 9 days left to Christmas. So I know everybody has to win a couple more bets to buy those kids some more presents. So we've all been there, guys. So let's try to get some bets going this week. Let's try to get some wins this week. I myself am off of a great NFL week. One of those rare ones for me. Last 2 weeks have been really good. Conversely, the first 6 or 7 were pitiful. The 7, I probably lost first week 1. I won. Week 2 through 7, I had losing weeks. Then I had a couple push weeks, and now the last 3 weeks have been good. Last week and this week been very good. So that's just typical me. End of the season coming around. It's been like that for the last few years for the NFL. I've been trying to take better records, try to figure out why I'm not doing as well at the beginning of the season. But, like I always say, we're all a work in progress. Tonight, I have a bet on the New Orleans Saints, -6 in the first half. And Drew Brees just threw a touchdown. They're up 10-0 with a lot of time left in the second quarter, probably around 11 minutes now, 11 and a half minutes. Drew Brees just threw his 538th career TD touchdown, which puts him 1 behind Brady and 2 behind the leader, Peyton Manning. So that's kind of something that's pretty great. Drew Brees been around for a long time, and he's put up some stats over the years. Not that many championships, but some stats. But the Saints are positioned to really do some damage. They got to win out, I believe. I have some stats and some things for the NFC bye week, but we'll get into that when I bring in my special guest tonight, which is first one. It'll be DJ Big Boss. But before we get DJ in, let me just go over a couple games from yesterday that I thought were pretty interesting. And one of those games was live TV. Dropping things. There we go. Okay. First game I wanted to talk about was that Houston Texan game. The Texans, for me, was my best bet. I loved them all week. I thought it was a great spot for them. I've been backing the Tennessee Titans a lot this year, but I had a feeling that they were going to this is what a lot of times what happens. Teams like the Titans that have been a great underdog team, that have been winning some games that, everybody was a little bit surprised. Tannehill throwing balls like he hasn't, like he's never in his career. He's like a new man in Tennessee. I don't know if it's the Tennessee coaches or if it's getting away from Adam Gase in Miami when he did, which I hope that's not it, because as a Jet fan, you know who I have as my coach. So I'm hoping that's not the reason. But I had a feeling that the Texans were going to show up yesterday. They seem to show up when they have to, and only when they have to. They did beat the Patriots this year. They did beat the Chiefs this year, but they've lost some bad games. And the team in general, I don't like. I can't stand the coach. But I had a feeling that yesterday was a good spot. And that's kind of the handicapper I am. I look for a lot of situations, look at a lot of spots. And I sometimes as the season goes on, I look less and less at stats and analytics, and I look more at the situations that come up. And in the NFL, especially this year, it's been so up and down. And as soon as you think a team is doing good, like the Titans, and like I said, winning underdog role. Then they get put as a home favorite. They lose, and it happens a lot. I mean, that line stayed at 3 pretty much all week. I think I seen it 3.5 right before kickoff, but it stayed pretty much at 3. But if you listen to the pundits and you listen to the YouTube free pickers, a lot of them had Tennessee. And like I said, the Texans were my best bet, and for once I hit that nice 2-unit bet. And I also had another unit on them at the +3. And the money line at +150, which the 2 units. That was a good one. Made up for some of those bad losses I had at the beginning of the year. Another game I was on yesterday I felt strongly was the Giants. I took the Giants first half under 23, but I love the Giants yesterday, again, because of the situation. I thought Eli was going to come out and have a good performance, which he did. Typical Eli day, 2 interceptions, of course, but 2 touchdowns. He threw for about 270 yards, I believe it was. I don't have the exact stat in front of me, but he had a good game. He got a standing ovation from the Giant faithful, and it was good to see him do some things like he always did. I always thought he got a lot of blame for a lot of the stuff that the Giants in general, as an organization, should take some of the blame for. I mean, I'll keep on saying it. I think he's a first-time Hall of Famer. And I think that with the number 6 in the completions for all time, being a 16-year, never missing a game over injury, 2 Super Bowls, 2 MVP Super Bowls awards, I just think that he's definitely a Hall of Famer. But I know that argument goes on, and I'm a Jet fan, but I always had a soft spot for Eli. He's been the best quarterback in New York for the last 16 years. So, as a Jet fan, I've been through a couple of quarterbacks in those days. We all remember, I have Sam Darnold now, so we can only hope that he becomes an Eli. But already Sam has missed games, same as Daniel Jones has missed games. So, just having a quarterback that shows up to work and is in that game every week is something that should be recognized. So that's my little shout out to Eli Manning. We might not be seeing him again in the Giant uniform. I don't know what's going to happen this next week. If they are playing the Redskins at Washington, and I have a feeling because of their dominant play yesterday, that line might be a little inflated. And if Daniel Jones does start, I would be definitely leaning towards the Redskins next week. But we'll talk more about those kind of games at the end of the week. Okay, so tonight we have a topic of the old pay services. Paying for picks has been around for as long as gambling. It started a long, long time ago, and that's something we're going to talk about, pros, cons, how we used to look at it, how we do look at it, things of that nature. And we'll get into a couple other things, but let me bring in my partner, one of my best friends, the brains behind Who-Bangin Sports Talk, our friend and yours, the most fun guy is in capping. I'll tell you, he's the best, and that's DJ Big Boss. DJ, where is he? He didn't come in. Okay, he'll be here in a few minutes. He's been putting up his new design at the Who-Bangin Sports Studio in Los Angeles, California. I jumped the gun a little bit, DJ, and I brought you in, baby. As he's looking around, we're muted. We're just class operation here. You got me, DJ? You're muted.
Oh,
there you go, brother.
Damn.
Sorry, man. You have that new background, and I thought you were in the screen, and you weren't. That's a great background you got there for us. I need to get one.
Man. I teleported through these spaceships right here and came on in here with you guys. So I'm here now.
I hear you. And you missed my.
How you feeling, man? I didn't miss nothing. I was listening to everything.
As long as you heard my praise towards you, DJ, that's all that matters, man. We love you, man, and we're all in this together. Like I always say, and it's great. It's great what we're doing here at Who-Bangin. So, how was your weekend, my brother?
It was great, Dom. But it's not that you praise me on camera. is the thing, is that you praise me every day, bro, by having
Yes, I
my
do.
support and everything that we do, man. You're always able to call upon you for anything, man. I appreciate that more than ever.
Yeah,
but,
I hear you, man.
Yeah, I got a nice new little background right here. My other one's getting kind of cheesy, man. I had to bang them out right here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy for my first official trip right here onto the Light It Up show, man. And we're talking about some good stuff today. And I'm pleasure to be here. And let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen.
Yes,
we gotta get some more people in here. Somebody go tell a friend. Let me share this, man. Because
go ahead, man.
We about to get into some deep stuff.
Yes, we find, by the way, of Light It Up. We are going to have our. I just got some notice that we're going to be lucky enough to have our buddy Comic Ricky join us in about 10, 15 minutes. So he has something to say on our subject. And our subject, the hot topic for today, is going to be, like I said before, the pay services, the pros, the cons, how we look at it, how we used to look at it might be different. I know my outlook on it is different for sure, but just before that, quickly, any crazy things happened for you yesterday in the betting world? I know there was one bet that you were with you on.
If you guys follow me from the Pick Six show, then you already know they talked about me bad in the office over at SBR, that I wasn't going to be able to make it with no college games last week, but it's fine. Right now I'm sitting at 2-3. I got one game. I got I believe I got the over in tonight's game, and once that goes over, I'll be at least 3-3, and I'll be safe. I figured that'll be safe, right? I'll be safe right there, 3-3. But wasn't the best week for me, Dom Rici, at all. It was a struggle. Nothing but NFL. So I kind of had to plan differently.
It is just crazy, man.
I made it. But
so yesterday, NFL. Go ahead. Tell me about that San Francisco game. That's what I want to hear about.
Yeah. I figured you wanted me to let the people know what happened to me.
Yes, sir.
So despite having a horrible day yesterday, I evened up with the lucky San Francisco over that happened. You guys seen the game with the turnovers and stuff that took it out the waters, but actually put me over. It evened me out for the day, so I wasn't dissatisfied. But when that last game came around yesterday, I said I want to make some money. So I took a deep dive in last minute too. Sometimes I do my best work last minute. Right. I don't know why, right? So it was about 30 minutes to game time, maybe. I started busting it down, and I it jumped off the page to me. Bills -104 first half, right? So I said, throw 2 units on it, man. So I tossed 2 units on that one. It cashed first half, lovely. So I'm actually up today. Tonight, what did I do tonight? I messed around tonight, and I took.
Did you jump on that Pelicans bet that we would talk about? Oh no, the Thunder.
No,
not the Pelicans, the Thunder.
I'm tiptoeing through NBA.
Oh shit! So, no one tiptoe more than me.
I stayed on the outside with that one, and I went for the Saints -9. I think I might have got 9.5. I took Saints -9.5. I couldn't make it up in my mind to take the Colts the other way. So I took
-6 in the first half. That's what I took.
But I'm hoping for a middle right here, because I also took a teaser and took all the points over there with taking the Colts. So I got like a little middle working there for me. I got that teaser parlayed into the under, which is going to put it up a little bit more for me. So I'm kind of all over the place right now, but I'm just having fun on the Monday, man. Just
I hear you. Speaking about those 49ers, I tell you, they are, right now they're the 5th seed, right at 11-3, and I was looking at the NFC this week today, and the bye weeks and what could happen and who could be first seeds and stuff. And I'll tell you, it's pretty bunched up. The NFC, we're going to have some good games the next couple of weeks. Seattle had a big win yesterday. I did have them in a teaser with the Army over from Saturday, so that was good, considering I had Army and the straight over, which both lost. So the teaser made up for one of those bets. But Seattle 11-3, they have the card. They're at home for the next 2 games. The Seahawks. So the Seahawks might be in some good shape. They got the Cardinals next week at home, and then they got the 49ers the last week at home in Seattle. That's going to be some game, and that could decide everything. Right now, the 49ers are a wild card, but if they win out and Seattle loses one, then they could sneak in there. Another team that's 11-3 that's surprising, that to me is like, I don't know how they're 11-3, are the Green Bay Packers. Somehow, some way, they're 11-3, and I don't see how, but they are. And it could be like last year, the first round playoff, Vikings against Green Bay. But the big game this week that we have is Green Bay is playing the Vikings in Minnesota, and the Vikings are 10-4 with Green Bay 11-3. So that's going to be a big game coming up. So these last few weeks are some big games, man. The Saints are on tonight. Then they got the Titans, and they finish out on the road against the Titans, who lost the game against the Texans yesterday, who I was with on the Texans. But the Titans have been a good team, and that's going to be some game next week. Saints at Titans in Tennessee, and that'll be Tennessee wins out, then they'll be a wild card. And then the last game the Saints play is at the Panthers, who's been a crazy team this year, up and down, up and down. So the point being, the NFC, man, is all tied up, and we don't know yet. We really don't have a clear picture who it's going to be. Value-wise, I guess the Saints or the Vikings might be the best way to go if you're looking for the most bang for your buck. The only team I could think about sneaking in that's be a surprise would be the Vikings. I've been riding them all year. Kirk Cousins is not the Kirk Cousins last year. I keep on hearing about Kirk Cousins, and he keeps on winning. The problem is with Kirk Cousins is prime time and big games. That's always the issue with him. So that's a little bit about the NFC picture. I know you guys, like you and our buddy Noli, they're big 49ers fans. So you got a little work to do. They're hurt. They're a little bit banged up, and they're going to play the Rams next week at home, who God knows what the hell they did yesterday. And then they, like we said before, they finish at Seattle. So something for everybody to look at. We got some games.
I'll tell you what, that over here on the Niners side, it's gonna all come down to that last game versus Seattle. And hopefully this time the Niners, we got those young guys, that young energy. Hope we keep some poise and some discipline as we play Seattle, because Pete Carroll, he's gonna try to outcoach over there and keep his players disciplined. You can't leave him in the game. You got to run over him.
He's hard to count. He's hard to keep. Can't count out Pete Carroll, right?
Yeah, I hate going against Pete. Ever since he was at USC, and I'm a big Notre Dame fan.
Yes,
I'm always. I can say I respect Pete. It's probably like one of those coaches that I didn't like because he beat my team, but overall. At this point, I have to.
Like Bill Belichick for me. Yes. Yeah. No, I hear you, brother. I hear you. Another game, another NFC game that's going to that decides a division, even though it's the worst division in the NFC, is the Giants. I got them on my mind. Is Dallas at Philly next week? That's going to be basically for the division also, because they're both jammed up, and which Dallas team shows up, God only knows. I mean, they just decimated the Rams yesterday, but the Rams just pulled in one of their clunkers like they've been doing all year. As soon as they get on a roll, I just can't figure out that team, the Rams. A lot of us thought they would probably take care of Dallas yesterday, and Dallas just manhandled them. That was one of my only two losses I had. One of them was the under 48 in that game. That was at 40-something points alone. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
In the words of our president, fake news. Something was fishy about that game. Dallas, Jerry Jones had too big of a smile on his face. I don't know what happened in that one, man. That Dallas team is definitely not that good.
No,
I don't know how they. They was at home. All those logistics. Maybe they turned the heat up or turned the heat off for the other players, or fed them some bad food or something, because the Rams really didn't show up. And the week before, the Rams looked like coaching that came back. He dig back into his playbook. And this Dallas defense has been overrated all year. They pulled it out yesterday. I was on the Rams. That's another one that caught me. So,
yeah.
We win some, we lose some.
We
But
win some, we lose some. That's what I say. We
I
win
don't
some, we
know.
lose some, man.
You got two. I would stay so far away from Philly, Dallas, man. You talk about two
Yeah.
unstable teams, man.
So
That's
crazy teams.
That's like going back to both your baby mamas. You don't want to do that.
That's for sure. I had the Philly team total yesterday, over 21 and a half. But I always, every time I'm betting a Philadelphia team, I hear a friend's voice in the back of my head, Prince of the City. I hear him, don't bet any Philadelphia teams. He even said that to me on Saturday about the Flyers. Don't bet the Flyers. And he was right.
There you go.
Yeah. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Our boy Elio Rodriguez, top set, is in the house. Josh Poito, part of the Who-Bangin team. Our NHL specialist is in the house. Comic Ricky is in the house waiting to come on with us. Thank you, guys. Buck Nasty, thank you guys for coming in. I do appreciate it. So does DJ. And there, since we actually said the word unbelievable, and there he is. He's in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. We have to get. He's one of those guys we have to get on next time. We have to get,
absolutely, man. And I tell you guys, meeting our guy Unbelievable is a real treat, man. You talk about a real class act right there, man. I love that guy right there. But
and he has an interesting story, an interesting concept on betting and on kind of what we're going to start talking about now, and that's pay services and paying for picks, and not to say that Unbelievable was charging for picks, anything like that. He just has an interesting concept about the whole system, and we'll go into that one day.
Wait, time out. Before we go, flag on the play. Before we go into that, man, of course, nobody wants to be the guy that's paying for picks and all that kind of stuff. But at some point, though, in the respect to business, in the respect to being an artist, in respect to a craft, in respect to stuff like that, you're only as good as your tools, and you got to have some type of tools.
That's right.
If you choose your tool to be, hiring more employees or whatever, which would be sort of like paying, for picks, then that's fine. Just make sure that works for you. Don't do it, in the losing effort. But if you choose to, buy a magazine, if you choose to buy a data analyst system or something, choose something. Because if you want to have any longevity at sports betting, you're not going to wake up with the best pick every single day. It's just not going to happen. So with respect to that, because I know it's just one of those things that I always see, you spent the money and got burned. But, we've all been there. We've all been there in some respect. I may have not spent my money in buying picks, but I've had the guy approach me with the hot credit cards or gift cards, and got to the store and wasn't nothing on the card. I got for it too, of
course. We've all felt for scams in our life, that's for sure. And as far as like what we do and the topic of paying for picks, I'll tell you, it does have a bad reputation in general, probably because of the way it started out. I mean, years ago, before being the old man on the Who-Bangin crew, years ago, before the whole computer deal, they were selling picks, but they used to have these 900 numbers and these 800 numbers in the back of the Village Voice, in the back of the some papers, and that's how they did it. And and I've done it. I was as a kid, I was 22, 23 years old. Oh, great way to make money. Just call this idiot. We all done it. And call it's like $5 for a bet, and if we don't give you the right bet, call tomorrow for a free play. But what they used to do back then is, you would call for that free play. They wanted you almost to lose that first little because when you called them back, now they had your number, and then for 2 weeks after that, you got calls from these guys. Hey, how you doing? So I see that you like to bet on sports. How much you bet per game? You bet $50 a game. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you 10 picks a week, and if I go 6 out of 10, then you pay me X amount of money, and that was their scheme, and that was their routine, and that went on for a while, and and then they would do the thing where they would give out listen, they had these 900 numbers. God knows how many people were calling, so they would give half. Let's say tonight, They would have you call up, and they would give you the Saints. Then I would call up, they would give me the Colts. One of us is going to be right, and one of us is going to call tomorrow for the free play because we lost. That was a scheme going on for years, and these guys made a ton of money. That translated over into the computer, and a lot of guys went that way from the beginning. And like I said, the outs really had a bad reputation to start. But as time went on, and as it grew, and as the computer grew, and handicappers grew, and it's like a whole new entity now, it seemed to have gotten better. There are definitely guys that are honest out there. I've changed my opinion 100% on the pay service thing. Straight up, one reason is because we have friends that do it now, and I know there are honest guys out there that do it, but I know still there's millions of them that don't. And we got some information today for some of our friends out there who behind the scenes always are helping us out with content and with suggestions. And, just for instance, one of our friends was telling us how a pay service that friends of his use works. And I was just amazed that people really spend that kind of money to get paid, to get picks. But like I said, there's all different, I've heard of $1,000 for a season. I've heard for $275 for a month. I've heard $25 a pick. I've heard $50 a month. So it's a weird thing. What's your feelings on that, DJ?
I'm rather a young guy, I must say, but I kind of been hanging around with the old fellas all my life. So I've been actually putting in those parlay cards since maybe sixth grade,
Yeah.
So I kind of understood the game from a long time ago. I think that's important for the younger crowd that we have showing up today. They're getting on here. They're automatically going right over into, online betting. They got all these lines. They got team totals. And
Yeah.
I think it's important. It's probably going to evolve maybe years from now that people feel is more important. But I think right now is maybe a good time to visit in the history of sports betting because, it comes a long, long way from, like yourself. Only type of edge you had was either watching the game yourself, going to the game yourself, going to the practices, or, following the newspaper.
The box scores. I was ripping out newspapers, box scores for newspapers, especially like baseball, every day. I had stacks and folders of box scores. Football for the next week. That's the only way we did it. How else could we do it? I had the Daily News. I had the New York Post, and that was it, man. And then you would read those guys too. Those prognostic. They would give you a little, why you should pick this game, why you should pick that game. Most of the time they were wrong, but that's all you had.
I thought I was tough, man. Me and my dad, we used to go to Vegas, from time to time, right here from California. Which you may get out 3, 4, 5, maybe now I get out about 10 times a year or plus, but back then maybe 3, 4 times in a year. So it was like whoop-de-doo. I even feel like that sometimes when I go to Vegas now. Like you're at the place where you can just cash it out. So I kind of go a little bit wild. Yeah. But the online stuff, I'm more of a sports investor. I like to watch the money and all that kind of stuff. But when I go to Vegas, it's balls out. You know what I'm saying? We just do what we do out there. But we used to go to Tijuana to bet at Caliente. I mean, it was weird, like all the strategic stuff you had to do. Then me being my dad's son, and me staying to technology as the internet evolved, I learned about, online sports gaming, which when it first came out, just so everybody know, it was a mess. People, still to this day, people are not getting paid. Things are happening with people's stuff, but It was even worse back then. It was outfits that was up for 2 days, took everybody money and went back down. So it was like fruitful at the beginning. Then right away it was like a scam. So then you just let it die down for a while, and then I can't even count the years ago, but years ago I came back into sports betting once I listened to some radio things or some of those guys that be trying to sell you picks that were keeping you what was going on with sports betting, and they were talking about how places like SBR got established to review some of these places and kind of knock out some of the kinks and some of these guys, give you an honest shot. So when that happened, I got back into the game again. But the tricky part about that was loading your money onto the account because you didn't really want to trust a lot of your personal credit cards and stuff with that kind of place. And then on top of that, is many credit cards that won't let you do international charges at all. Some people, banks, all that kind of stuff. So at one point, we was able to get like a
gift cards,
a gift card or something, and load it up, you know. And sometimes it was probably lucky we lost because we probably couldn't get that shit out if we won.
I did that with you know what I did that with I still don't have an offshore account. I don't want to give them my credit card. I still have it, but I used to do the Full Tilt Poker, Bovada Poker. I did the whole online poker thing, and I was funding it with those damn gift cards, which cost you $5 for the damn gift card. But let's keep on going on this topic. But one thing, DJ, I want to get comments.
Let's get him in here.
Before we do that, I don't want to leave out the most important thing, and that is our sponsor, All Pro Moving Group, who is you got that right, DJ? All Pro Moving Group has been sponsoring Light It Up, the Lounge, the Boss and the Saw Show. They're behind the whole Who-Bangin sports talk project. And we love having them, and our boy Nicky is the one that hooked them up. Our boy Fat Fist, who's going to be known soon as the Boston Brawler, I believe, MMA. I believe he's going to make a change in his name. And like I told him, it's a good time to make that name. But let's hit our spot for All Pro Moving there, DJ.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, it's Dom Rici here. And for someone who's been in the moving business for over 35 years, I know how stressful it can be. You call All Pro Moving Group, the interstate moving specialist. They're fully licensed and insured, and they can help you out with every facet of your moving. Their number is 817-893-2233, and they gave us a special code for the Who-Bangin' Sports Talk customers, and that's All Pro Nick 1 for $500 off any move. That's right. All Pro Nick 1, man. That is a $500 off of any move. They are an interstate mover. They'll even just move your car. A lot of people, I was in the moving business, like the ad said, for years. They'll just move your car. That's a big thing in the moving business. People have to transport their cars, moving from one place to another. A lot of times when people move interstate, they get rid of everything. They sell everything, but they keep their cars, motorcycles, stuff like that, boats. So they'll transport everything, a one-room apartment, office building. You name it, they can do it. Okay, let's get back to our topic. But first, let me bring in our friend, Comic Ricky.
Hey, brother. Hey, brother.
How are you, brother?
I wore my Notre Dame shirt tonight in honor of DJ Big Boss.
Oh, okay.
It's from my collection of T-shirts or sweatshirts of universities I can't get into.
Oh, so that must be a hell of a big collection, huh?
I've got many. I even got Rutgers.
Do you have Nassau Community College? That's one I can't even get into.
I don't think they make it. I don't make a shirt like that. So what's up, brother? Decent weekend. It was fun for a change. I begged, pleaded that you guys do not bet the Bears. And everybody in the chat and the whale capper, good for you. I told them Packers. I said everybody Packers. And the thing I love, let's get into your topic, because I would watch a show on Saturday morning at 6:00, and it was Jim Koken and Teddy Covers and some other guys, and call me now for the best bet of the day. And it was like you said, here it is, Notre Dame, baby. Notre Dame, baby.
Look at that shirt.
Let's go. Kelly gets a bowl win, even though she stinks at bowl games.
Exactly. So, I mean, I was 19, and I was too dumb to know I was getting hustled.
That's right.
And
that's
then,
what we're all saying. Yep.
Right. And then you get the phone call from the guy himself. Holy, I'm not kidding.
Right.
And he calls, and there it is. And I spoke to Weeb Eubank. You know that guy.
Sure.
I spoke to Weeb Eubank on his hotline because he did that.
Oh, okay.
1-900-CALL Weeb.
Wow, that's amazing.
Was it Weeb or Dweeb?
Yeah. No, it was Weeb.
Well, the picks were fine.
Calling it. Right.
Yeah. No, I called him, and and then they said, "Well, how much do you bet?" And I 5,000. So I was fucking with these guys. And then Weeb calls. How would you like our special package? This is a special VIP package only for bettors like yourself. I'll take 10% of everything you win and 0% of everything you lose.
How much do you bet a game? They say to you, right? How much is your average bet and all that stuff? Listen,
those guys.
Yeah. I mean, it
always
still goes on today. Listen, these guys still make money that way. You still get the guys giving out picks. They'll give you one pick and they'll give me another pick. You don't know who you're calling and stuff. I mean, that guy Steve 100%.
Stevens, even Vegas Dave.
Yep. I mean, listen, we make fun of all those guys, but they're making money, right? I don't know about Vegas Dave. I don't know much about him. I always think that all that is just some kind of a movie set, and it's just a big hype of the world. But that guy Stevens, Steve Stevens, is legitimately a guy who made a lot of money. He's I
watched his show on Showtime. I think it was.
Yeah, CNBC. He had that money talk show on CNBC.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And but one of his cappas, a matter of fact, Doc knows one of his cappas, and the guy have to be a good cap. I mean, you have to have a couple of good cappas to have a business like that going on. It just goes to show you how much of a fraud that guy is, and the rip-off he is. He has to have some good captains because you can't always be giving out bad picks. Someone has to win sometimes, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
I'll say this though.
Steve still, as Buck Nasty says it right there. It's true. He's a salesman. He's a marketer. That's what he does, man. He's not a handicapper. He's a salesman. I can sell, anything probably.
Listen, I'm a salesman when it comes to comedy. DJ was a salesman when it came to music and parties and so forth. The boss, and you sold moving
jobs for years.
Right. So everybody's in sales, and the people who do the best job at it are going to make money.
Yeah, I hear you.
Some friends of ours listen to that. Friends of ours, I'm such a mobster. Some friends of ours are in the business of selling picks, and I generally listen to their shows because I don't have time to go delving into the statistics. I do it for college hoops. That's it.
Right. I hear you.
I'll tell you a good one though. I'll tell you a good one. So, my dad, he's into sports betting. So, I let him know what I'm doing and all this kind of stuff. Like, yeah, Dad, I got a show. He checks out the shows. He's like, oh, I like it. Da, 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 da. But he tells me, son, until you start basically saying, until you start touting, you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, see. A lot of people think that, man.
I'm like, Dad, we in a different era now. Like, there's too much information out there for you to have to go tout. Like, you can do it.
Right.
Like, he never bought a service in his life, but he thinks like, and that was a thing back in the day. If you were a really good capper, then you could probably run a service good. But I'll tell you, the fact of the matter is, and many cappers know this, is that even if you try to tout, being a sports bettor yourself, you have your own bets and you're going to have the plays that you put out. So sometimes some of these guys are funding these guys for the bad plays that they're playing on their own. I've had plenty of weeks where I might have went 4-2 on the pick six, but overall in my personal bets and my emotional bets and all that kind of stuff, I could have a losing day. And everybody's like, hey, you had a 5-0 weekend. But I'm like, that was according to what I put, because nobody knows what you're actually going to make it to the window. And it's not always that I don't want to make that bet, or I'm trying to put out something I don't. I might just sit around too long on the bet and, move about my day and miss the bet, So, we're funding a lot of those guys' bad habits. If they were so good at those picks, for one, they wouldn't need to give them to nobody else to be rich.
That's my point. I say the same thing with the stock guys.
And for two, it would be like unlimited money. Like if you were making that much money selling picks, why would you need to bet on your own? And
what do you need my $25 for?
They showing you tickets, so they letting you know that they really betting some of these bets. So it's a give and take, and that's why if you notice all those big time, we call them touts. We low baggers, we call them touts. It's all good. We love them as well too.
Well, it depends. To me, I look at it different. To me, a tout is a scammer and a ripoff. A tout isn't just somebody that's selling picks. I always distinguish that for some reason.
Oh yeah.
If you want to say a tout is someone that's selling picks, that's a different thing. To me, the word tout is the guy who's scamming and the guy. But I understand what you're saying. It's also, man, I guess, on how you use it. But
my dad was a gin rummy hustler, and
me, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, buddy.
My dad was a gin rummy hustler, and he passed last year or this year. And I was in his nursing home, and I was watching Low Shack in the Bag on his computer. So I said, "Watch this," and I typed in, give my dad a shout out, will you please?" I explained the situation. And till the day he passed, he was like, "Who's that guy through the computer talking to you? That was so cool. Who was that? Who was that?" He didn't understand the technology, but he understood the betting in the game, and that was wonderful. And that's why, and honestly, that's why I hang with you guys, because I trade stocks and options, so this is just fun for me.
Right.
The funniest thing to me is that I remember that actual day when
do
when
you
said that. Yeah, I remember that. I'm a low bagger, man. I watched this.
Yeah, low baggers for life.
Thing religiously, man. It was at one point in time with Pete and Jimmy. Like, if I didn't get to watch the second show of the day, I was kind of upset. Now it's kind of to the point where I don't really go back and watch. I try to jump in there a little bit, but I don't really go back and watch as I used to. But I used to go back, rewatch all the shows if I missed it. If I didn't get my Low Shack in the Bag fixed for the day, I was off balance, So, I loved it. And I remember that day. I remember you put on there that you were right there at your dad's bed. I remember you kind of explained the situation, and, they showed some love, man. And that's the most wonderful thing. Like, none of us, I'm sure, planned on being a part of any kind of social media group, but we here now, and some of the guys that I met through this social media community is wonderful, like all you guys yourself, and it's a really exciting thing, and we embrace everybody with open arms to come join us and do this with us. But speaking on touts, man, let's speaking on paid picks, since I don't want to call everybody out, but what about the fact that since we're in the social media age right now, you find more and more people putting up free picks on the internet, creating their own little "I'm this service, I'm that service," or "I'm not this service," and all this kind of stuff. What do you guys feel about those free picks? Because me and Dom Rici, let's ask you, Comic Rick, because me and Dom Rici, we spoke earlier today about going in and reviewing some of these people that give out these free plays, not to damage their brand or anything like that, but just to go just to go through their.
Gonna be honest. You want me to make a review? I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, you have to be honest, but at the end of the day, we know it's rare that we can find anybody that can hit at 60%. So we could catch some of these guys on a good week, a bad week, or whatever. We would have to follow them for like 6 months to give a true review of them. But just a quick review, maybe for a week. I know there's a lot of people out there, Freddie's picks at will. They email me these picks and all this kind of stuff. And I don't think they're ever really put on the examining table to be examined. And I think that we should do that. And if you think that we should do that too, make sure you let us know in the chat or the comment after the show or something, because we're going to be putting this together. So give us some suggestions of some guys you think that we should check out. Who should we go through? I know I get Freddie's free picks. I get picks and parlays. I get a Big Re and Ace. So there's a lot of them out there, and
But most of the guys out there are putting free picks out, not like we do. A lot of guys put out free picks because they're trying to steer you into a service, and they want you to buy their premium picks and their service and all that stuff. And there's a lot of guys out there that these services are just insane. We got some inside information today about some of these services that are huge, that have been around for years, and they just keep on getting away with it. And it's crazy. And like you say, the way you put out your stats, hey, listen, the last 2 weeks, and here's a perfect example. Last 2 weeks in NFL. Last week I went 5-0. Yesterday I went 10-2. Now if I put I go put a video out, the last 2 weeks I'm 12-4. And I legitimately posted all my picks, and they're all right there. But I ain't mentioned about the 5 weeks I took it in the ass the week before that, And it's all the way. You can make stats make stats make it look like anything. Those guys that are trying to steer you into their service. That's what they're doing.
These are like the slot machines that pay back 100% in Vegas. You have to sit there for 9 weeks and keep pulling the thing. So when somebody says they have a 10-star, look, I get a text message. I get this text message. Tonight, 3-0, new play, New Orleans, -9, play over the 47.5. Play New Orleans over, and yesterday we were with the Raiders and we went 3-1. One loss means nothing. I will deliver this tonight. So, I mean, I think it's because SBR's got my phone number and they sell these numbers.
I don't get that stuff at all, man. But then again, I don't answer any number. I don't know.
I've had the same number. I've had the
They're
same
just
number
text message.
over 20 years, man.
I don't get that stuff.
I get it all, man. I got the same number, same email over 20 years.
Yeah, so do I. But
I even
don't know why I don't get it.
They still figure out how to give me a gift.
I'll send you some, Dom.
No, I don't need it. Listen, this is a subject I've been dead against for a lot of years. I was dead against anyone paying for a pick. I don't understand why anybody would pay for a pick. To me, it's and to me, it has a lot to do with just getting ripped off and stuff. But now, like I said, as the years have gone on and how it's taken a different turn, we do have friends that sell some picks, and they're honest guys. And I know for a fact that if I needed to help in a certain sport, I would go that route. I mean, we got guys that, but they're not trying to rob you. They're not trying to take your last dime. Here's a perfect example. Today, we got a friend of ours told us about friends of his. There's 5 of them that together they bought this service. It's $1,000 for the season, for the NFL season. The guy gives you 26 picks a week, and he has them written down from a 7-unit play as his max play, 7 units. Just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And then he has a 4-unit play, and then a series of 3-unit plays and a 2-unit play. And he gives you 26 plays, marked up like that for the week. Now, if you're just a regular bettor, say a $100 bettor, you're going to pay somebody $1,000 for the year to get for a service. You're going to have to make 26 games just to break even, aren't you? He's giving you 26 for the week. I mean, he's giving you 26 picks a week. You give this guy $1,000, and you're a $100 player. You still got to make up 10 games, right? You got to win 10 games to pay the $1,000 for the month, right, or for the season. That's a lot. I
love your math. Yeah.
Hey, wait. But you're not counting the juice. What about the juice?
Get to that point. Now you don't know if this is an example they gave us. Now you factor in the favorites are losing and stuff like that. That could be so much higher, that number. But this guy happens to give like for instance a 7. Why would you put 7 units on a play? To me, that is just total insanity. It doesn't matter how big of a bettor you are or how small of a bettor. You're a $25 bettor. You're not going to put 7 times on a game. You're a $100 bettor. Your max bet should be $200, $250, not $700. You're a $1,000 player. Your max bet $2,500, not $7,000. I don't get how they do that. But anyhow, this guy puts out a free pick every day on YouTube, and he asked me not to mention his name, so I won't yet. So, but he puts out a free pick. Now, his free picks, he went 60% over the last 7 weeks on his free picks. But guess what? He lost 7 of those 7-unit plays. He lost 7 of them in a row. 7 weeks in a row, he lost that 7-unit play. So look at that.
So a $50 player loses $350 times 7 and paid $1,000.
Right.
Okay. Sign me up. Never.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're looking for a pay service, what kind of bettor are you? If you're a $25, $50 player and you need a pay service, and there's a lot of bettors out there that are very small bettors, I'm no big bettor, that's for sure. But if you're a $25, $50 bettor, you can't be paying somebody that kind of money. You can't be paying somebody $275 a month, $50 a month, $75 a month, yes, but not more than that. If you're going to go that route.
I think the reason that people do that is, first of all, when you charge more, you think you're getting a better product. I mean, it's just like anything else. You're going to go buy a car for $100,000. or you're going to buy a car for 30,000. Which car is better, for lack of a better term?
Right.
Also, I think that the breakdown per game that I listen to, and I will disagree or agree, but if I agree with it, it makes me feel better about my wager, and then I may bet bigger than I should.
Right.
And I've been doing this,
No, of course. We've been doing it a long time. Right. I understand. And that goes into community people too,
Yeah, the sense of community that we get here and with Jimmy and so forth, it's incredible. And I've met some amazing cappers, guys that I respect. But we don't fight. DJ distracts me because I'm not drinking anything tonight.
Don't worry, this is kombucha. This is kombucha. Kombucha, the digestive system. You gotta, I'm getting old.
Yeah, kombucha. Yeah.
It depends on like how you follow people too, and why you follow people, and that all goes into the whole paid service too.
I'll tell you this:
information, not the picks. I like to do my own handicapping, and then I'll go. I want to hear what you guys are on and stuff.
Exactly.
And I usually won't change a play, but I'll get off a play because of it. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what, though.
So go ahead, DJ.
I even, I've been picking my own picks for so long. I even have a hard time trailing you guys. And sometimes I'll be like, I told you the other day, Dom, I said, you did really good. You went 7-1. No way I was going to follow you the following day.
Yeah.
I had to wait till you get in the down spot and hope for you to go up. So it's kind of tricky, but
so that's another thing though about paying for picks. What you're saying is if you're paying somebody, like for instance, this example that I gave you, guy gives you 26 picks a week. If you're paying for him, you better be playing every pick.
Yeah, I can't do
because what are you going to do? Pay for his service? He gives you 20 picks, and then you're trying to decipher which picks out of those 20 that you get. See, I don't want that in the pay service. If I'm going to pay for his service, let me finish. If I'm going to pay for his service, I want 5 picks a week, tops. That's all I want. I don't want to pick every day. I don't want 5 picks a day. I want 5 picks a week. I want your 5 best picks that I could play. Because if I'm not playing all the picks that you're putting out, then when I complain to you that I'm losing, you could say to me, well, you didn't play them all. You're only, so that's another thing people should be looking at if they're going to be going that route. For me, I pay for one thing, and that's a VSiN subscription. And I do it for the information, and I do it for their shows. That's the one thing I pay for.
I pay my one subscription to seniors over 55 dating, and that's it. I don't want to pay for nothing else.
I'm on that site. Absolutely.
I'm changing sites now.
No,
it's not enough room for me and you on the same old school.
Yeah, there is. California and Illinois, it's a lot of room in between.
Oh boy, I'll tell you, we're in trouble if we listen to our buddy in the chat, Flipper. He says he has a sweetheart deal for us. Lock the doors, hide your wallet, hide the jewelry.
I like meeting Flipper. He's a good guy.
These guys in the comments have some really good comments. I
they do,
put some of them up. My guy Top Fit says touts give you records that start with the last losing streak. Always listen close. Their last 16 games or their last 25.
No,
games.
He's right, man. No, listen, Ilya's another one that's been around for a long time, man. He knows the games. He knows he knows what's going on out there. It's to me, like I said, most of the pay service, most of the tout things is pretty underhanded, but there are guys out there making their name for themselves and trying to change the look of the industry. And there happen to be some friends of ours like Ski Profit, who I would trust 100%, like Drew Martin, who I would trust 100%, like Ian Cameron, I would trust 100%. Donnie Rightside. I trust these guys. I don't know if they're good or not with their picks. I don't know anything about their services. I just know that if I had to do that for some reason, then I would go with somebody that I would trust at least, and someone that's not going to look for a lot of money for that kind of thing. But I could never see me really doing it. And there's something I've been approached at. I've been approached at now over the last year a few times to join a service and to try to start selling picks. And, a couple of guys have tried to get us involved in all that stuff. And that's not me. It's not something I'm really interested in doing.
Dom, we would buy your picks just because you're a nice guy, man. We'll buy
I'm not. It's just not my thing, man. I don't want to. What I am interested in doing though is like we said, there's a lot of people on the internet that are doing it. There's a lot of people giving out free picks. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start some type of review, and we're gonna start. I'm gonna start. I listened to a few of them already, but I'm gonna start jotting down what they're saying and let's see if any of these guys are really what they say what they are. And like DJ and Doc did with the magazines and the football college reviews and stuff. There's a lot of guys out there on the internet that are. There's some guys that are good, and there's some guys that I know that are just touts. One guy I like a lot is this guy Scott Steen. Who's Winners and Whiners, and I don't mind giving other guys plugs if they deserve it. This is the kind of guy that'll come on the air and say, "Hey, I went 0-7 the last 2 days. You people should be fading me if you want to make money." Kind of I like an honest guy, When I put out my picks, there's a lot of days I put up that I went 0-5, I went 1-4. I have no problem to put my losing days down. There's too many of us. When I say us, I mean in general, that only post their winning picks. And they never post the picks beforehand and, all that nonsense that goes on. So anyhow, it's a subject that we're just really jumping into now. We're just going to really scratch the surface with it this week. And it's something that we're going to get more and more, delve more and more into it, and actually start talking about some services and, what they do and what they offer. Go ahead, DJ.
I say we open the floor to all the viewers. And hey, if you got one of those annoying free picks that keep coming on your email, you keep unsubscribing, or they figure out how to text you, and then after you block them on the text, they're in your DM. I have one, Freddie's free picks. I want to put Freddie's free picks in the mix. And if anybody else have one, let us know which one you want us to go through. We need to get all these guys. It's just like I say about a lot of other industries. If we have an industry where nobody's getting weighed out, we're not separating the good from the bad, then that's what happens with free picks, right? All these guys put out their services. They get along. Each services get along because they're all on the same team. So there's nobody to weigh them and say these are the good guys and these are the bad guys. So we're gonna be the weigh station right here, and I weigh enough to weigh everybody. So we're gonna be the weigh station, and we're gonna weigh these guys out and see what they picks is about. 1 week. Let's hope when we pick them, we got them going up. Our guy Flipper says we need to go after.
Yeah, he's talking. Yep.
Those are the guys we know who's mixing the Kool-Aid. I want to go.
We know those guys.
Some of these guys that don't have a customer service number or email on me. I've seen some stories on the internet and some guys that some people on the internet put out there that ran off with money and all kinds of stuff. Let's bring these guys to the table and.
Sure.
And start this up, man. I think the people deserve that.
I'll tell you something that Wager Talk is doing. I'll tell you, it's been almost an hour. We do got to get out of here in a few minutes. I noticed something that Wager Talk has been doing, and I know that a couple people have been telling me that their odds page, something that only SBR had up for the whole time, that Wager Talk has a really good page with their odds page, and that they're really they're really doing something good. I know a few of our friends use it and they like it. Something I got to check out. What the hell? There's not only SBR, right? There's plenty of fish out there. There's plenty of other sites.
There's Who-Bangin Sports Network. Who needs anything else?
Up and up. With gambling being more and more popular, more and more states becoming legal. There's more and more new gamblers coming out there. There's going to be more and more people looking for the information that we're trying to put out. What I try to do with Light It Up is really gear it towards the smaller gambler, the guy that is not betting a lot of money, because really they should know the stuff that we're talking about already. So that's what I like doing, trying to help out everybody, try to steer us clear of the traps that are out there, and there sure as hell are a lot of them. But on the other hand, like I said, there are a few that are very reputable, and we will give them just as much due as the ones that we don't like. So that's something we'll have to just keep on going with and keep on talking.
Give me a 90-second countdown. First of all, bye, Billy. Thank you very much. What a guy. He blesses us. For a guy in this business to bless us, what a dude.
There
Now,
you go.
the movie,
Go ahead.
Two for the Money. Remember that movie? Al Pacino. It's a sports betting movie. That's right.
Yep.
Al Pacino runs a service where the top customer bet $1 million every game.
Right.
Every game, every week. And Pacino's guy went like 12-0 or something one week, and then he went 0-12. And so it's really fun. It's really dramatic. So it's called Two for the Money. Al Pacino. It's from 2005.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Yep. Yeah. I know the movie.
And for the rest of you guys, I wish you all in this holiday season peace, love, cheesecake, and champagne.
Wow.
Cheesecakes makes me constipated. Dang.
That's why you have it with champagne.
Ricky, where can they find you on Twitter, my friend?
They can find me, Cranky Ricky, on Twitter, Ricky March on Facebook, or bestcorporatecomedy.com, where I will fly to you and insult the living shit out of you.
Oh, that's just that. We'll have to get you after the holidays. We'll have to do a little Who-Bangin sports talk roast and get you roasting us for a little while. That'll be some good. But
we're gonna roast him. We're gonna do the roast.
Well, we'll let him get us first, and then we'll get him. We'll get our rabbi, the Who-Bangin sports talk rabbi, Comic Rick.
Let me tell you, it could be worse.
Ain't no way I'm getting roasted by the mall Santa Claus. It's not gonna happen, man.
Hey, Ricky, man, it was great having you tonight. Thanks for touching on the subject with us, man. And of course, we will see you in our conversations tomorrow and tonight on the little chat that we have. And hopefully you hit some bets tonight if you're on any.
Yeah, I'm on a couple.
All right, good, brother.
Yeah, you guys rock. Thank you.
You want to tell us your picks before you go?
Yeah, sure. I've got New Orleans and the over.
I like it.
Hey, I teased it, by the way.
Before we go, I demand to be treated like a guest, and I'd like you to ask me where can I be found on the internet.
Okay, well that means you got to stop interrupting. In other words, and then we can do that. All right, Ricky, love you, man. We'll see you later.
All right, peace. Rick. Thanks, brother.
Peace, brother. Comic Ricky, what a pisser he is, man. He's a good guy. We have a eclectic collection of people, that's for sure, from all age groups. We span probably about, I guess, I don't know if anybody yet. There's a couple of guys in their late 20s, and there's a couple of, I'm 62, and there are a couple older than me in the low pay crew. So very few, but listen, but none of them as young as hard as me. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for goddamn
even you 27-year-olds.
Hey, I'll curse for you. That's for goddamn right.
I hear you. But listen, DJ Big Boss, everybody knows where to find you. But in case there's somebody that just came out from under a rock, where can they find DJ Big Boss?
Look here. You can find me under the name Dom Rici on Seniors and Still Dating. And you can find me on Twitter at DJBIGGBOSS. And you can catch me on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk channel at any time because we always doing it on the Boss and the Sauce Show on Thursday, the Who-Bangin Sports Lounge on Friday. And guess what? I'm doing OT this week because I'm on the Light It Up show on Monday.
That's right.
It was great hanging out with you, Dom and Comic Ricky, and just being able to talk. I didn't have to pull out no stats or nothing like that. It was wonderful, man.
So, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. It was great having you, DJ, and I will see you later, man. Thank you.
All right,
thanks a lot, brother. All right, yes, and before I go, I just wanted to do a quick shout out. I always like to end on a high note. First, thank you everybody for coming in. It's been fun. You know, we just try to talk and try to hit some topics and not to get too serious every week. Light It Up is supposed to be that kind of show, and we're trying to hit some hot topics every week. So hope everybody liked it. Any topic anybody ever wants to talk about, you know how to find me. What we want to do is open up that Who-Bangin Sports Talk Twitter page, and we're going to start using that a lot. And we can have a lot of comments on the shows. Anything that you people want to talk about, you can tell me. We do have a we're in the works of an NCAA basketball contest that we're trying to develop. And we will have that going within a week or two. It should be fun. We might combine NBA and NCAA. We'll see. Something like DJ did with that onside app with baseball over the past season. We're going to try to do something like that, but hook it up with our Who-Bangin Sports Talk. So we'll look for that. And let me just give a shout out to this company and this group of people called Wreaths Across America. It's a group of firemen, police officer, and a trucking outfit out of North Carolina. It escapes my name right now. The name of it right now escapes me. But they carried wreaths all the way across America from state to state, laying it on veterans' gravestones. And I just thought it was a great thing. You know, the cops and the police get a lot of crap for a lot of things, sometimes deserving, sometimes not. But, you know, when they do a good thing, we need to be saying that stuff, too. And with this truck, these tractor trailers full of wreaths, they've been, you know, being escorted with the cops and the firemen. They've been going to all these different sites and all these different veteran memorials and laying a wreath for the holidays on all the veterans' graves. They went to Arlington Cemetery in D.C., and I've been there. There's just thousands upon thousands of graves. And they laid one on every stone out there. And I just thought that was great. There was even some local kids, local firemen, their sons and daughters from Franklin Square here in Long Island that participated in the placing of the wreaths in Arlington. So that's a great thing, I thought. And I just want to give a shout out to the wreaths across America. I want to give a shout out to Comic Ricky for coming in. I want to give a shout out to DJ Big Boss for coming in. I want to give a special shout out for my brother Paco Healy, who helped me out with some content always and behind the scenes, man. The kid always tries to help us out if he hears something that maybe we made a mistake on, or he tries to help us with some information. We're trying to get him on. But speaking of firemen, he's a medic in the fire department. You know, he works those crazy 72-hour shifts. So sometimes we can't get him on, but he will be on Light It Up soon and on the lounge. But I just want to give a special shout out today to Paco Healy, just because I miss him. I haven't seen him since Las Vegas. So, all right, everybody, I will stop rambling. Hopefully, week 6 next Monday, we will. The plug still won't be pulled. We will have Christmas next Wednesday. So everybody, like I said, you got to win some bets so we can buy some more presents for the kids. So it's all about the kids at Christmas. So enjoy your holiday if I don't see you guys. And when I do, let's win some cash. And as always, see you at the window. Good night, everybody.